always be a part of me. January, always be a part of me. January 16.
Appreciate all the things you've done for me. Replaying moments back to happy days. See, I'll be waiting till the day I see your face. They're going nowhere. All our memories still can say yes at your house, just laughing. Say hallelujah. King with endless glory, His love is everlasting.
I can name the seasons: summer, winter, spring, and fall. With countless celebrations, you would rank them all. Here's a standing ovation for your love and patience. The thought of you will always be my January 16th. No one can take your place. This loving's by God's grace. I will always cherish everything. My January 16th. And just as time goes on, your legacy stays strong. You will always be a part of me. My January 16th.
About everything, stayed up late at night. Those visits meant so much to me. You told a story from your childhood days. The eldest daughter, your siblings called you adoring. You bring together all the family. Every Christmas party you would lead our gathering. I feel you leaving. God's grace is calling you. I hear you whisper, sweet dreams are made of yesteryear.
I can name the seasons: summer, winter, spring, and fall. With countless celebrations, you would rank them all. Here's a standing ovation for your love and patience. The thought of you will always be my January 16th. No one can take your place. This loving's by God's grace. I will always cherish everything. My January 16th. And just as time goes on, your legacy stays strong. You will always be a part of me. My January 16th.
I just want you to be good to one another. I won't change because they like my way of doing things, so I wouldn't change that. I wouldn't be like this. We wouldn't be like this without God. I have good kids, loving grandchildren. They're always should be like that. There's something wrong. Just be patient. like nothing happened. Continue to pray and be good, be friendly and be good to other people too. That's how God wants you to be. Be humble because God will love you.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is now time for the Indie Live Spot right here on your station GHP Radio, your independent music source.
talking to myself and feeling old. Sometimes I'd like to quit. Nothing ever seems to fit. Hanging around, nothing to do but frown. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. What I've got, they used to call the blues. Nothing is really wrong. Feeling like I don't belong. Walking around, some kind of lonely clown. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. Funny, but it seems I always wind up here with you. It's nice to know somebody loves me. Funny, but it seems that it's the only thing to do. Run and find the one who loves me. What I feel has come and gone before. No need to talk it out. We know what it's all about. Hanging around, nothing to do but frown. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. The only thing to do. Run and find the one who loves me. What I feel has come and gone before. No need to talk it out. We know what it's all about. Nothing to do but frown. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. Hanging around, nothing to do but frown. Rainy days and Mondays always gets me down.
everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Indie Live Spot right here on GHP Radio on YouTube live stream. And gosh, we got some great music for you today. Of course, you already heard a little bit, and but we also have a great guest, actually a return guest from a little while back, good friend. We're going to be talking to this guest here in just a moment. Griselda is here with me, and of course we are missing two people. Actually, we're missing Ray MAC and Joyce Spencer. And so actually Joyce is actually doing a gig this weekend.
Yes.
And of course
Joyce is working it.
Yeah, she's doing her thing. And then also Ray, of course, you know, we're really sorry, but his wife's sister passed away this week, and so he has to attend a service today for that. So keep them in your prayers. But they'll be back next week, and but me and Grizz can handle it. I think so.
Oh yeah, the two G's in force.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Especially with this guest.
Now, at the top of the hour beginning on the playlist, you heard some tracks from Mr. Greg Manning, Top Down, Wilfred Felix with On My Mind, also Yvonne J with Rainy Days and Mondays, and Preston Smith featuring Althea Renee with Wondering, and then of course you heard Autumn Whisper from COLDJACK, and guess who our guest is today? John Fraser is in the house.
Yeah, baby.
How are you, Grizz? It's been a long time, and thank you for having me back on the show.
Oh man, welcome
It's been
back.
too long, hasn't it, guys?
Oh yes. Oh, do behave.
Oh, do be.
Be Randy, baby. Yeah.
How you been, John, man? How you been doing, man? It's good to have you back on the show.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure being back. Actually, as I said, it's been too long, but
It's been.
unfortunately, well, it's fortunate actually. I've got a brand new job, and that's taken up a lot of my time, and it's hard to actually get back on the radio and listen to great shows like yours, and or any of the shows really. And so I can only apologise for not being around as much, but life takes different turns, and unfortunately I'm working pretty hard right now, as we all do. So
yeah, absolutely. Totally understand that, man. And of course, you know, we know that you're here in spirit when you're not here. So and everything, and you've been staying busy though, your music on the music side too, as well as some other entrepreneur things, I'm sure that we can get into a little bit later.
Sure.
But you do have a new single, right, out? Or I know you have actually a few of them that are just kind of spread it out in different times, but your latest, I mean, tell me, I mean, when was it released?
Well, Love Philosophy was the last one before Unconditional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, we're doing a different concept with the album. We're sort of doing more singles than actual just fillers. So we're trying.
I think, John, that's almost becoming a common thing now with a lot of the artists, isn't it? I'm kind of, been thinking, because I was talking to some folks the other day about that, because we were, all talking about, they was talking about how they were trying to work on releasing some new music, and, I as well, and they was, we were all talking. I was thinking, I was like, well, I'm just want to take my time, and, if I want to do the whole thing, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind just going ahead and just releasing something, a single, just to, that way, that kind of open the door for something to come, everything. But
it was something that we wanted to do, and what that does is, you're right, it does take a lot longer, and everybody's been screaming at us, when's your new album coming out? And I said, well, it's taken a long time because I'm trying to release singles that are top quality And there's another thing too. When someone is dropping 15 to 20 bucks for a CD, you should be giving them the best, you know, not just odd single that was great and the rest were just, they're okay, you know. Right. So when you're selling that, you want someone to go away and say, wow, this is like a great or best hits from COLDJACK or from any artist. So we just thought it'd be great to write and, you know, cover some songs and process them the best way we can. And with Eddie Bullen being our producer, you know, he gets the best out of us. And it's imperative that we deliver. Sure. And then, but Love Philosophy, as you said, was our last single, and I'm actually working on the next single called Wait For Me. I'm good friends with Kenny Thomas, and I've mentioned Kenny to you before. Kenny Thomas wrote a song called Wait For Me, and I wanted to take that song and basically do our own version. He didn't release it, so we're releasing it. So. But nobody over here really knows Kenny Thomas that well. I mean, he is an international R&B soul artist from the UK and in Europe, and he's massive. But when I spoke to him, I said, have you done anything with that song? And he basically said no. So I took it upon myself to take it. And that's going to be coming out after Christmas. So that's more of a middle-of-the-road ballad. Right. Awesome. But to be honest, Grizz and Gary, the album has taken a lot longer than I thought because I'm just so particular now. Well, yeah. I want something that's got some prestige behind it and it's well produced. So
absolutely.
Even though you know, record companies like to push you, but the good thing about my record company I belong to, I can take as much time as I like. So cool. That's pretty cool.
Great.
Very cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, aside from that, I also know that you're doing like the COLDJACK, the coffee, and the food items. Talk about that. How is that coming along?
Well, that was purely because I was looking at when we were doing theatre shows and festivals. CDs is hit and miss, as you all know. It's hit and miss. So I thought to myself, well, how can I also market COLDJACK to get it out there to the public? And the idea of the coffee and the hot sauce now we've just released as well. We've got a hot jazzy sauce that's organic and gluten-free, and it's no GMOs, but it's pure. It's used. So the ingredients we're getting from the farmers in Canada, so it's fresh products. And so we've just released that as well, and I'm finding, it's funny, when I do these shows, I'm finding people are more drawn towards the sauce and the coffee
than the music.
No, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
They love they love the show, and they do buy CDs, but it seems like the other goodies are going out the door.
That's good.
Because they're different, right? They're and now we're just increasing the volume of what we've got, and that's how Grizz I come up with the idea of the COLDJACK Cafe.
That's awesome right there.
Yeah. So we were online, but I've taken that off now because we are now in talks, as you know, with opening our own COLDJACK Cafe venue in Creemore, Ontario. It's a beautiful little village near the ski hills and not too far from any major town. And the idea behind that is to sell all COLDJACK products, being the sauce and the coffee, and I'll be selling a lot more British goods, you know, like chocolate, etc., and offering some meals. And adjacent to that will be hopefully our 80-seat jazz venue.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So basically through the day we will be doing the Jazz Cafe. And then we're going to transform the other building into the small jazz venue that will be open maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sundays of an evening.
Right.
And the reason I wanted to do that, and I know a lot of artists listening will and as you know, Gary, I'm doing that because I'm frustrated with a lot of particular venues that won't take great indie artists. So I want to put back and hopefully bring as many artists in that don't get those opportunities that are really good, that can bring their own following.
Right.
And then also at the cafe and at the venue, I want to sell artists' CDs as well. So you know, once it's open, I will be contacting everybody to say whether they want basically any CDs sold in my venue. The money go back to the artist, and I'll just take a small commission for selling it and doing the work to sell it. So I'm trying to put back really, guys. That's all.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. I think that's a great idea. You know, because you know that's what goes great with a cafe music. You know, I mean, hey, I mean, gosh, that is awesome. And then you know, your brand of coffees and things like that. Man, that's different. That's very different.
Well, it's and again, these products have taken the hot sauce has taken 2 years because I wanted to make sure that the right ingredients were going in there, no processed rubbish, and you know, I wanted it healthy for consumers, right, and for the fans. And these things take time, but if you do it properly, you can get the end result. It's very frustrating to wait as long as you do, but I'm finding that it's the way to go, and it's different too. And I'm not saying it's going to work. It's going to take a lot of marketing and processing, you know. But I'm really excited about doing that side of the COLDJACK project. As long as the music's still there, it seems to go together, right? So I'm sort of excited that I can offer something and then offer something back as well. So if it comes to plan, it's going to be exciting. So.
Very cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't know about you guys, and I'm sure the musicians in the chat, and hi guys, how are you all, and thank you for tuning in, by the way, that my expectations within the music industry is gone now. I'm not afraid to say this, about a year ago I fell into deep depression because I got obsessed with the music and the industry and how hard it is to be noticed just to get to that next level.
Right.
So that depression hit me like a ton of bricks because I was so obsessed, Gary, Grizz, with I couldn't switch off. You know, I was networking till 2 in the morning. I was looking after the band and scrambling to get musicians to all the dates, and it gets you. And it brought me down. So I'll be honest, my expectations of making it to the big time, I'm not too concerned about that anymore. I'm not obsessed anymore, you know, and I'm more laid back about it. If it's going to happen,
it's going to happen. Absolutely.
And if somebody's listening at the right time, that goes for all of us.
Yes.
All the musicians.
Absolutely.
Great, fantastic. But there's no point in obsessing or getting depressed over it because how much more money do we have to invest within the industry to make it when certain people are not listening?
I'm so happy to hear you say that, John. That's very, very noble thing to say. I mean, that's because, you know, a lot of artists, like I said, definitely, you know, desperately sometimes want to have that you know, I made it and big time, and it's a tough business. It's very, very tough, and but at the same time, you can still enjoy what you do, and you know, and still get enjoyment out of it. But at the same time, you definitely have to come to grips and you know, just say, you know, think, you know, hey, you know, I hope to make it, you know, but if it doesn't happen, you know, that's just part of life, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those type of things. But you can have success in your own way, though. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but
it does. It does.
It does.
It's a good point, Gary, because I'm not bitter or angry, and I've said this before. And you know, people say, "Oh, are you bitter?" And I said, "No, it's not about being bitter. it's working so hard and writing such good stuff, and then you just feel like you're being ignored by the people that need to be listening. And I'll be honest, I'm blessed. You've seen on Facebook, you know, I'm not afraid to say what I want to say, but we're blessed where when COLDJACK plays, we sell out. Sell out theatres and we sell out clubs and we do very well at festivals. So, you know, I can't complain really, guys, because you're right. To get to that next level is obsessive. So I'm very happy that people are coming out to our shows and we're selling out. And we play some big theatres and we play some big festivals, and our club appearances are getting bigger and bigger, and we've got more stations on board now. You're right, you've got to switch off at some time and say, why don't we just enjoy what's happening?
Right.
And if a record company comes along that's big and says, hey, we've started to notice you guys, fantastic. But in the meantime, I'm just going to continue writing and producing great songs, hopefully, and enjoying the ride, and opening up my own venue and jazz cafe, and concentrate on that, because that could open some doors possibly down the road, right?
Absolutely. You know, they always say that success for everyone is different for everyone too, because you know, one may have an idea of that in a certain, I don't know, just, you know, thinking of something like that. But I mean, you know, and I'm like with you, John, as far as the, you know, hoping, you know, that, you know, gosh, hope I get up there on the top, blah blah blah. Well, I came to the realization too. It's been a while back, and that's the reason why I've been so kind of laid back. You know, I'll still write my music, I put it out, and I love doing that. You know, that's just wonderful, and I just, you know, I'll push it and promote it at the same time. But at the you know, at the same time, I'm thinking of other opportunities, other within the music business, but in a different way. Like, I'm actually really very, very interested in somehow, and you know, and it's a tough business as well, but I think it's a little bit more fulfilling for an artist if they are really into writing music, but getting into the TV and film commercial avenue industry, you know, music licensing and syncing and stuff like that. And I'm actually part of a club that's into that kind of stuff, and my eyes has been open, you know, to some things that I'm like, wow, I wish I would have kind of looked at this some time back, because, you know, I could have put like more time into that, but it's never too late for something like that, because that's something on a whole nother level, you know what I mean? But you can actually really, really make money at the same time, but you're not really out on the front. You're not that front person. You know, you're just doing work for somebody else, but at the same time, you're still doing your music, but you're actually getting paid for it. You know, and that's a great thing. So
and it's like, you know, like you've got great artists in the chat like YJ and Henry Nixon, you know, and it's frustrating, because it's not that we want to be pop stars. That's people get the wrong end of the stick. You know, oh, you want to be a pop star? No, I don't want to be a pop star. It's not about having any ego either. Again, it's about just being respected. In the industry. If you're writing really good stuff, it should be noticed. But we've had this conversation so many times. But I used to get obsessed where, again, they keep picking the same 20 top artists, and fair enough, they're great artists, but there is a point of no return, and then you think to yourself, well, what is the point of obsessing and getting depressed and trying to put more money back into the industry? So I've reversed that, and I'm saying, no, screw that. I'm going to put that money back into my project and open up my venue and open up my cafe, because that gives me an opportunity to give back to what they're not giving to us, the artists, right?
Right.
That makes me feel better about doing that. and I actually forgot to mention, you know when we were talking about the my red wine from California?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that actually is, sorry, I should have mentioned, that is actually going to be released in 2019 now, and that's coming out across the America, Canada, and the UK, actually.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
So that will be added to the COLDJACK Cafe project and to my shows that we do.
Perfect. Perfect.
But the reason I brought that up, and again, it's not to boast, but I actually forgot and closed my brain down on that idea. Because I didn't think it was going to happen.
Right.
Because it was touch and go whether it was going to happen for licensing. So here's something interesting. I'm sure the guys have gone through this. If you don't obsess or think about something and you just drop it and forget it, it's amazing how later on it comes back.
Yeah.
That opportunity just comes back out of nowhere. And that's something I've learned in the last year now, guys, that if I don't think about it and just get on with what I'm doing, opportunities then arise when you least expect them to.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So it's a better process from a health point of view, and from trying to make it is just to sit back and
let it go.
Yeah, let it go. Just let it go, because the more you stress about it, it ain't going to get you any further.
That's true.
Very much true.
It's what it is. Yeah, I've still got me pigeons though.
Now, if you guys could have seen him earlier, he was wearing a mask, a pigeon mask.
Hilarious. And speaking of mask, I was wanting to ask you, what was the story behind the face paint on you're sitting in that chair?
Yeah, I was gonna say, who did the makeup?
Actually, that was a friend of ours, Laura. She's into face painting, but she was amazing. But I'll be honest, I was in that paint work for 2 hours, and I wanted to scratch my face and my eyes out, to be honest, because you can imagine it was like it doesn't run because of the cameras, but it becomes a little bit dry, and then your eyes start watering, and so it was a painful. It looked really cool. I'll be honest. I was like, wow, this is really neat. But it was a long process. But the idea behind that was not just a new look. I was hiding behind that mask.
You were hiding?
Yeah, it's like, we were talking about being depressed, and that sort of hid me from acknowledging all the bad things that were going on, if that makes sense. When they
okay, that was during that period.
Yeah, I was hiding behind a mask, and it was sort of trying to tell a story that this character needs to become me, and I'm standing back. It's like hiding behind my depression that I was suffering, and hiding behind the obsession that, I've got to stop. So I created another character. When people hide behind masks.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of artistry there, as I wanted a new look. But if I'm telling the truth, it was to hide how I was feeling.
Oh yeah.
And I just felt like maybe people could see me in a different way.
Yeah.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it does.
I hear I definitely hear where you.
It was a disguise. It was a disguise again. Some people, everybody loves it. Everybody's like, wow, that's really
it looks cool though. It really looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it helped you cope a little bit through all that.
I don't do anything by halves, as you know. I jump in a lake up to my waist. And with the COLDJACK, there's Gary. I remember Gary saying, was that superimposed? And I said, no, I was really, I was really picking the gonads off, but I was hoping that the artistry of that would tell a story, and it would get attention. because sometimes you don't need music to do that. You might need something like an image. An image tells 1,000 words, you know, it tells a story. Oh, yeah. So the feedback from it was amazing. I mean, but you know me, you've got to be creative. You can't just sit. You know, there's a lot of people that do graphics and then they use superimposed backscreen or something, and it doesn't quite look authentic enough for, you know, that doesn't really show you as an artist, I don't think. I think you should take risks.
Yeah.
And create something that's real. You know, I know it's not in everybody's budget, I understand that, but if you do it yourself and you create a story, it opens up all sorts of channels for people. You know. Right. But also it was a bit weird too, though, wasn't it? It was almost bordering on satanic. Do you think? No,
I don't think so. In fact, Henry kind of said it was the Harlequin effect.
Yeah, that's a good point, Henry. Yeah, it was really disguised. Yeah,
and that's how I saw it. Was like the Harlequin. That's exactly what it reminded me of a Harlequin kind of, you know, motif.
Yeah, I think all you.
I wasn't even thinking satanic. I was like thinking immediately when I saw it. Right. And plus, since you had the black and white square floor, it was Harlequin. Yeah,
a lot of people said it was almost devil-like.
Really?
But that's no. Seriously, I was like, oh dear, you know.
Yeah, well, some people will go to the extreme, as far as and not do the artistic frame of mind. They're thinking satanic. I was like, I'm thinking Harlequin.
Well, that's what I like about you, John. I like how you express your art and your, you know, your brand and everything. Because I mean, I like, especially, you know, I like how you came out when we first met you. You came out, you know, you had the hat. What do you call those hats? I can't remember because those were always popular.
Like the little mini fedoras.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
The red. And then the cool.
Oh, the bowler hat.
Yeah, the bowler hat and the cool flip glasses. Those were really cool. And then that coat, you know, I mean, you be styling it. You be doing it, man. You be styling it up with.
Thank you.
That's pretty cool.
You got to be different. And within the music industry, I've been taking tips. Oh, you got to stand out. It's not just about the music. You got to try and stand out with some fashion ideas. But I've had some amazing feedback, don't get me wrong, and I'm very blessed and very grateful, and I tried to do different things, and that was trying to get attention from, you know, to go to the next level, but even that I feel has been ignored, you know. So that's why stand back, just let it go.
Yeah.
Just let it walk away, as they say.
Right.
You know.
Well, G, should we get into some of the music, some of the singles?
Absolutely.
Sure.
What do we want to introduce first?
Have you played Autumn Whisper, right? That was the older stuff, right?
Yeah, that was
just to kind of bring. Yeah, that was just to kind of bring you in, you know, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe Unconditional, Start Saying Soft. You know, it's a beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful.
Yeah,
I love that one.
I like that song, and why don't you talk a little bit about that before we go into it? Tell us the concept behind the song, and maybe, and then also, was that something that was written particularly by you, or would you have some other contributors to that?
Well, I put my own spin and changed some few words on it. But do you remember Charles and Eddie?
Charles and Eddie.
Will I Lie to You?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, will I lie to you?
Yeah.
I
remember that. Yeah.
So they wrote Eddie, Charles, the original frontman, he died quite a few years back from cancer.
Oh man.
And Eddie Chavon is from California, and he's now a photographer, and he was the other sing-songwriter for Eddie and Charles and Eddie.
Okay.
And they wrote that song, and again never released it. And I contacted Eddie, And I said, do you mind if I take that song and manipulise it a little bit? Because it wasn't really, I mean, when I say it wasn't released, they didn't really finish it as such, right? Mm-hmm. So when I contacted Eddie, he was a bit dubious because it was a song he wrote. And I said, look, let me add some bits and let me change it up and I'll send it back to you.
Yeah.
And I wanted his endorsement and respect. So we finished it. And the first word he said was, wow. Mm-hmm. I feel extremely blessed that you've taken that song and you've done that. And that just brings back memories with Childs before he died, because, you know, that he's very passionate about their history. Mm-hmm. And losing, when Childs died, that was pretty much it for Eddie. He's a great songwriter though, but it's like anything, to get feedback from any top artists like that were huge in the 90s,
right,
is fantastic. So, and that's really what I've done, Gary. I just put my own touch on it and added some lyrics and some different backing on it. And when I got that feedback from him, you can imagine how I felt, right?
Oh yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. You know, that had to feel just awesome for him to, you know, approve that. You know what I'm saying? So that's great. That has to kind of boost your confidence a little bit more. You know what I mean, on that, because man, that's awesome and it's great. Yes, great tune. I remember the first time I've heard it. You know, it was just so familiar to me in my mind. I was like, you know, but I was the people that you said. What was the names again?
Sorry?
The name of the guy that wrote it?
Oh, Eddie Chavon.
Yeah, I just remember when you mentioned the name, I wasn't familiar with the name, but I remember when you started singing the little bit part of one of the songs that he sung. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and that was number one in every country in the world for like 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
It was number one in America for like 5 weeks or something. You know, that.
Yeah.
And that was a beautiful song, but yeah, for me, it's just, yeah, you're right. It made me feel good that I got feedback from the actual writer and performer that was huge. And,
absolutely.
And secondly, when I released it, everybody didn't realise it was me singing, because I actually approached that song with a different vocal.
Yeah.
Saying, is that really you? And I said, yeah, it's me. I just approached it different to make sure Eddie enjoyed it. You know, I want to reflect on what they've done. So.
Oh yeah. Very nice. Very
strange. Nice. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get into that right now. We can let our listeners check it out, and if you're just tuning in, folks, we are talking to our guest today, Mr. John Fraser from COLDJACK, and we're gonna play a track now. So sit tight and check it out, and then we'll probably sneak in a couple more before we do come back and return. So y'all get whatever you got going on, get relaxed, get ready.
And don't forget to keep it locked.
Yeah, don't forget to keep it locked. All right, we'll be back. Right, y'all keep it locked. We'll be right back.
Naivety can shine bright as the sun. a precious little baby having fun, and a mommy flying higher than a dove, overdosed on unconditional love, and a daddy walking proud for the first time. Whenever he holds his baby, she stops crying. That's unconditional. A little teacher in the world, be yourself. Can I tell different lines from the color of skin? Naivety can shine bright as the sun, and a precious little baby having fun, and a mommy flying higher than a dove, overdosed on unconditional love, and a daddy walking proud for the first time. Whenever he holds his baby, she stops crying. That's unconditional. That's unconditional. Unconditional love, and a daddy walking proud for the first time. Whenever he holds his baby, she stops crying, and a mommy flying higher than a dove, and a daddy walking proud for the first time. Whenever he holds his baby, she stops crying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She stops crying. She stops crying. She you notice, or am I just another daydream in your eyes? Will you trust me deep inside? I stay. Do you think that you love me, or am I just another tender touch to your face? Give it one more try. Don't say goodbye. Believe in us. Give it one more try. Don't say goodbye. If I give you what is left of me, or will you open up your heart to share your pain and the sunset full of rain? Believe in us. Give it one more try. Don't say goodbye. Believe in us. one more try. Don't say goodbye, believe in us. Give it one more try. Don't say goodbye, believe in us. Give it one more try. Don't say goodbye, yeah, yeah. Give it one more try, yeah. Don't say goodbye. Don't say goodbye,
You know it's a woman's world. You better show me some love.
I know deep within my solitude, my nature's weak, what can I do? Just when I seem to have control, just let it go when you're in love. It's a woman's world, and I like it, yes I like it when you're in love. It's a woman's world, and I like it, yes I like it. And when your emotions run wild and you're nothing to say, on your face there's a smile which will always remain. You just watch yourself fall deeper each day. 'Cause in this world you know we're all the same. There's something about this love makes my body come alive, and there's nothing I can do 'cause I like it, yeah. When I have you all alone, it feels so good, and there's nothing I can do. I like it, yeah. If I could, I would not help myself. Can't explain the joy to no one else. But when a woman claims you as her own, then you know you are in love. It's a woman's world, and I like it, yes I like it when you're in love. It's a woman's world, and I like it, yes I like it. You just watch yourself fall deeper each day. 'Cause in this world you know we're all the same, yeah. And there's nothing I can do.
If only
Okay,
kids are
here we
free honey.
go.
Nice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. And gosh, that was some great music.
Listen to the blues. Whoa, yeah. Whoa, yeah. I must feel the pain. Ooh, feel the pain. Whoa, yeah. Whoa, yeah. I must feel the pain. Ooh, feel the pain. Mama's been laid off. Papa's been laid off. My brother's been laid off for more than 2 years now. Ooh, can't get a job. Billy can't get a job. Ooh, yeah. Gotta listen to the blues. Help them to strive. Help them to move on. Help them to have some future. Help them to live alone. Help them to live a life. Help them to smile. Don't let them stay at home and listen to the blues.
Hold on, John. Hold
Yeah,
on.
Hold on.
What's going on, G?
The sound. We were okay. We're on air now. We wasn't there. We wasn't on there. They missed everything that we just said, I think.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. So sorry, people. I know y'all out there hear this now. I see what's going on. We're actually on air now.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the little low volume there of that music.
Low.
Yeah.
So what we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen, was Gary used to get romantically involved with cleaning his teeth while he played the. And also I actually fought Muhammad Ali back in Manila when I was a boxer as Joe Frazier, and Believing Us was one of our first tracks that I wrote, and obviously Gary loved that track, as you said, right?
Yeah.
I appreciate that, but I'm a bit disturbed the fact that he gets off on it.
Which brings us to the sign that you saw while you were driving on the highway.
Anyway, so yeah, as you know, I can't. I'm one of these gigglers that find everything absolutely bloody funny. So, and I will apologise because this place was a funeral home before we start. So anyway, I was driving down this road and this big sign started coming towards me, and I was like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me?" So, and I said, "Right, let's pull over. I've got to look at this sign." And when we pulled over, I started giggling my butt off. I couldn't stop laughing because it said John Thomas Funeral Home, right? So, now, I don't know what you guys call it, but in England, the John Thomas is, you know what it is. So it said John Thomas Funeral Home, and the funeral director's name was Dick Hampton. And that was it. I was on the floor, cracking up, like, you know, I mean, what's the odds of it called John Thomas and the funeral director was Dick Hampton? I mean, come on. So, of course, you can imagine me. I'm standing in front of this. I'm standing in front of this. It was closed, by the way. It was on a Sunday, and I was standing in front of this big sign, doing an advert, as you would, saying, "Hi, welcome to John Thomas's funeral home. My name is Dick Hampton, and if you want your penis cremated here, please contact me."
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but that's me though, right? I couldn't resist it. I couldn't resist it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's the only funeral home that is specialised
for that.
Oh dear, can you imagine that?
Where's
in real life?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Peter's here.
Remember John Bobbitt?
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh no, man. So John, 2019 is very, very near. So what are some of the things that you got coming up?
Well, apart from opening the cafe and the small jazz venue, and pushing the products, we've already got. So what's really cool is like already getting shows booked. We've been booked to play the Midland. In Ontario, Midland Culture Theatre. They contacted us and said, could we be part of that series for the summer? And I was like, yeah, that's great. So we're back at the Jazz Bistro, because we do that annually anyway. So we're back at the Jazz Bistro in May for 2 nights. And then we're headlining a few festivals that are coming up in Ontario. I've got another 20 festivals that I'm waiting to hear. I know I'm not going to get all of them, that's normal. But even if we get like 4 or 5 of those top festivals, I'll be happy. Obviously going to release the album, the second album. Still haven't really got a title for it yet. I was going to call it 7, because it's been 7 years I've been doing this with a record company, right? So
yeah, that's interesting. I kind of like
yeah. So the other title was Rhythms of Existence.
That too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think it'll be one of those. And I'm just finishing off now the rest of the album, and then, as we were talking earlier, I'll be releasing the new single once Christmas is out of the way.
Very cool.
And,
well,
I think I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be busy with the band, and there are talks of going back to the UK and coming over to the States again. I mean, unfortunately, we had that show cancelled in Georgia.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate. I can't really go into too many details because of contract reasons, but it was disappointing, and these things happen sometimes, right? And,
yeah.
But it would have been our first show, and maybe we would have got a few more after that. But hey, 2019, who knows? We might get back into the States, depending on what happens with the States.
Yeah.
So many things are changing every day, as we know. I'm not going to get into politics, because I promised that I wouldn't, and I don't really want to. But there's some scary stuff going on everywhere, and I'm sure all of us are a little bit uneasy on where things are going. It's got nothing to do with who's president you got. It's just people in general. I mean, people in general have gone crazy.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of craziness in the world.
Yeah, and it's very sort of, that's depressing, but you've just got to get on with their own lives, right?
Sure, absolutely. Now for our listeners, from the last time, when you're on the show, of course now, because things change throughout the years. But who are the members of the band right now, as we speak?
We've got a new guitar player. That's Joey Martell.
Okay.
He is actually a Juno winner. He's a Juno artist that was with a band called the Jazz Radicals. And, an amazing young gentleman. He's only like 25, I think, but wow, he's got some chops. He really is he's a phenomenal guitar player, any style.
Nice.
We got Nico Salvo, who is Chilean and Canadian. He's on percussion. He plays the timbales. And he's really added a new concept to the band, right? There's a lot more trade-offs, between Aaron Spinks, the drummer, who's the original drummer. And the shows are great because it's nothing better seeing the percussion player and the drummer going off on one, you know? That's pretty cool. So he joined the band. Bass players, we're sort of going through different guys. We've got about 3 or 4 bass players that we can now use at any one time. So, we've got Mark Shannon, we've got Jerome Tucker, we've got Kirk Nielsen, and they can drop in. So I'm not too concerned about that. We got Colette Easy still does some backing.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Nico's new wife, Jess Salvo, the percussion's wife, she's come into the frame now, and she's a great singer too.
Awesome.
Sax players, again, we've got a guy that's playing with us also out of Humber. All these guys have come out of Humber College.
Oh.
Wow.
And when they come out of these schools, their criteria is huge. I mean, that's huge, man. So we got Stuart Brignall on sax. Igor used to play with us. He's busy with other projects, so Stuart's playing sax at the moment. He's really cool. Obviously we've got Bella Heyman, the original keyboard player. He's still there.
Okay.
He's amazing. He's from Hungary, and so it's a bit of an international mixed bag there, really.
That is cool. Yeah. And also, I was going to ask you, because I know some time back, I remember getting a message from you about music for one of your friends, and I can't, because I don't have it in front of me, but I remember the title. I think the song was like Colors or something like that. What was the guy's? It was a guy that he's a vocalist, and you wanted me to check him out. And I can't think of it right now at the moment. But I mean, the track was nice. I liked the track. I played it actually a few times on the show. But I just can't think of it because it was just, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, maybe.
Oh, okay. Errol Lee.
Yeah, that's it. That's the.
And the track is What Is Color?
Yeah.
Errol's a good friend of mine now, and
okay.
And he's got a brand new album out, but there's about 2 or 3 tracks that are really cool, and I think I sent you 2 or 3. And he puts a lot back into the community too. He's working with a lot of kids, and he's a phenomenal sort of like a dance. He's a really good dancer actually, and he's a great singer, and he writes some good stuff. And he came to me, and we was talking about, I might be able to get you on some stations. I think they'd love this track. It's a message, it's a great track.
I liked it, man. I really.
Well, it's got a bit of rap in it, right? If I remember right, a little rap in the middle.
Yeah.
But it's a really good song. It's catchy.
Very catchy.
But that's what I try and do. I mean, I try and, like we all do. Everybody says, well, what do you want back? I don't want anything back. If I can get your song out and someone takes it, good for you, man.
Sure. Absolutely. That's what it's all about, man. Network and help each other out and stuff. So
it is. It's really cool. And he's such a great guy because he gives back to all the kids, And I think that's really important.
So pass the message on to him that I love the music, and he's welcome to come on anytime.
I think it would be a really good interview because he's got such a diverse history. Like you'd be interested in everything he's doing, actually.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to be successful within his own right, but again, it's not about the ego, it's about putting backs, and that's what kind of a guy he is, you know. But Pascal, if you would like him on the show, I'll get in contact with him, and he'd love that.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love that. So thank you.
Terrific.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, gosh, yeah. It's kind of crazy this year. It kind of just flew by, didn't it? I mean,
this year was but look what's happened around the world in this year.
I know.
Is that you can imagine why we're all so down and so confused on what to do and how to approach things, because nothing seems valid or respectful or safe anymore. You know, it just. You know, like we all want to just have a great day and work and have fun and write good music and that, but everything that's going on around the world, there seems to be this circle around the earth of negativity that is putting pressure on us moving forward or making decisions to move forward. I'm finding.
I feel you. Yeah.
You know, that's terrible right now.
Yeah, it is terrible. It's very unfortunate, and I hope things will get on the brighter side soon, because it's just a lot going on. A lot.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it's something's got to change, because I think we're heading down the wrong road. I mean,
and me personally, I try to not focus too much on it. You know, I try to live in my own world, you know, so to speak, you know, especially musically, because I mean that's where my mind's always is anyway. So if I'm not at my employer, I'm not working there, that's where I'm at. I'm usually there in that, and I'm neck deep into that, you know, doing these different projects and things, and it fills my heart and fills me, keeps me happy, and it makes me just really appreciate life in general. At the same time, it's a release to get away from all that negativity. You know what I mean? So but unfortunately, it's everywhere if it's not the TV and even when I'm networking for the band, I think, right, I'm just going to network for the band and contact people, but all these things are popping up around you on your internet that are so negative, and you're on the corner of your eye, you're always reminded that something crap. And that, I want to turn the computer off then and think, no, sod it. No, I've got to get away. It's funny though, because what I've been doing lately is getting back to nature. Because I work in my company, I've been kayaking and hiking and camping a lot. That's nice. Yeah.
Just to cool down and forget about everything and and get back to nature and the smells and just saying screw it. You know, but there is nothing better than roasting your nuts over and over. You know, it's like, you know, and I look forward to that time in the evening when I am roasting my nuts. So.
What a joy. What a joy.
But it is. You think about it, Gary. I mean, I can imagine me and you out there, mate. Right? We've got 2 teas or a coffee. I'm roasting my nuts and you're polishing your teeth.
Oh, you crazy.
Oh, dear. You know,
I want to say something, but I'm not going to. I'm going to
say Grizz, go. You gonna bottle that one up, are you, Grizz?
Oh, yeah. I'll send her phone, get off there, and then I'll say
Oh my goodness.
On a serious note, getting back to nature and just hearing that peace and quiet and seeing the beautiful lake and the cliffs and it's just gorgeous, man. It's like, and it sort of, we don't, we won't have any technology there. We refuse.
Right.
No phones, no computers. We just get the tent out, we hook up, and we just go hiking, kayaking, and just swimming and having a great time in the provincial parks, right?
Yeah.
It's great, and also you can then reflect, can't you? You can reflect on how things are going, and getting back. It's called disconnect to connect, right?
Yep.
And it was really beautiful to see all the families bringing their children out, and they're actually out on their bikes, and they're actually swimming, and there's no cell phones, and hearing the kids laugh and scream, and you think, it should be,
we're missing that so much, man. It's just like, because, like even in our little family and stuff, like, of course, I'm single. I mean, I don't have any kids or anything. I'm not married, but my brother, my niece and my nephew. Of course, my niece now, she just started college like a year ago, so she's in college. But even when she was here at home, her and my nephew, they always in the house. They don't get out. They on the phones, the cell phones, the iPads and stuff. But they don't get out go out and actually play out. You know what I'm saying? Like what we used to do when we were kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. And I know a bunch of other kids, the same thing. It's just the whole generation's just into all this technology, which there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, we lost.
They need to be outside.
Yeah, we lost that thing, and then another thing is, it's kind of, I can see the point in some of it because of the way things are now today. It's kind of not safe in some areas, for kids to be out too. So it's just, but it's just crazy. But I can remember, as I growing up as a child. I mean, we loved getting out and going.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would spend hours outside on my bike, or I'd be running around with the dogs that we had. And
absolutely,
climbing trees.
And all those kind of things. But no, it's great. I mean, the last time we went camping, I remember buying a bag of pistachios from Costco's, right? And the big 2 pound bags.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd opened it and I'd only had a few, and you got this bloody raccoon the size of a dog walks past. And it's like no fear whatsoever, right? And I'm sitting around the fire on the chair, and this raccoon just walks past, and it literally just stopped and went, all right. And it looked at us, and I was like, wow, talking about getting back to nature.
Yeah.
Anyway, unfortunately, I put this brand new bag on top of the bench where you cook your stuff.
Right.
And this raccoon walked past, and I thought, oh, he's skipped it. He hasn't seen it. Next minute, he's up on the top of on top of the bench. He's got both claws have just gone either side of these bags, and he's opened his mouth, and he's just literally lifted this 2 pound bag of pistachio nuts. And I just talk about brazen. I mean, I mean, it's a beautiful thing, because when you're getting back to nature and you see that, you go, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And this little sod decides to go about 10 feet away, not into the bush, and he starts nibbling all these freaking pistachios. It's taking the piss. It's like, it's not funny, because that costs a lot of money, right?
It does, especially pistachios.
Oh yeah.
Well, I love my nuts, right? So
you're still laughing.
And this little bugger's just steaming in, but we had to take the bag away because the sulfur in those would have killed it. Could you imagine that? I mean,
oh yeah.
Animals have become like the chipmunks were literally coming up to my hand and sitting on my hand and taking the peanuts out of, it was really lovely. Yeah. Except for one of them had a crap on it. That was terrible.
But I get it, man. I get what you mean, though. Getting getting back in touch with all that stuff, man. It's just
yeah. No, it's a beautiful thing. I'll be honest, I love it, and I've just found that when I started going back and kayaking and doing that, it just totally relaxed you, and then you come back and you set your clock, and then you can resume your life, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
As you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? Let's why don't we jump into a couple of these new tunes? The more recent ones that we.
Well, actually, I've got Love Philosophy, right? And there's a couple of instrumentals there that we were toying with. They were done a while back. Again, not really sort of pushed them out, but I thought, as I haven't been on for a while, we haven't got the whole album. It was nice to show you a little bit of what's going on. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
It's you got the pigeon song right that I wrote. You got that one right. I know you might laugh at that. I've still got the lyrics for that. Unfortunately, do you remember, Gary? I contacted you guys and Dave McLaurin said, "Oh yeah, we got to do that,
Yeah.
I've still got the lyrics to this day. Actually, I've got them in the bedroom, and I sometimes pull them out and I laugh my socks off. I'm gonna have to record that one day.
Yeah. We might have still plan out some stuff.
Oh my God, it's so funny. You'd laugh your heads off. Actually, we wouldn't even get through an interview if we
No.
Oh, I can imagine, man.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to play the, I don't know, maybe play the 2 instrumentals and then whatever you want to do, you know.
Cool. That sounds good to me, man. Sounds really good.
It's getting dark.
Yeah, it gets dark early now, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. Good.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump into those, and then, of course, we'll come back before we wrap things up here. In fact, a couple of instrumentals that we're speaking of, Never the Same and Never Look Back, right?
Yeah.
So y'all get your ears ready, and we'll be back right here on the Indie Live Spot. Keep it locked. We'll be right back.
Oh, blimey. I'm going to have to get a bra.
Never the Same. What was the other one?
Sorry?
It was Never the Same in the other instrumental. Which one was it?
Never the Same, and then the other one's Never Look Back. Yeah. Why Jane said.
Then before that, she said you should have been a comedian. Or you should just stand up, she said.
Right, that's sitting down.
Okay, we're back?
We are back.
Yes? Woohoo! Okay. Hopefully it stays like that.
Yeah, before we say what we need to say.
Yep.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging in there. And, of course, we are back. And, gosh, that was some more great music. All that music that you just got through hearing from our music guest, COLDJACK. And
he's polishing his teeth again.
Oh, okay. I wasn't even watching. I was over here looking at the playlist here. So you heard a couple of tracks. You heard "Never Look Back." You also heard "Never the Same," and we did play the other one that was
Love Philosophy.
Yeah. And real quick before we wrap things up, John, tell us a little bit about that track right there, that Love Philosophy.
Love Philosophy.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
Actually, originally that was a Jamiroquai song.
Oh, really?
Oh. And that I actually recorded that before I had a record.
So. Yeah, I thought that name was familiar.
Yeah, and so again, that was recorded before I recorded the first album. I done that in 2012, just as a light demo. I was just messing around.
Wow.
Okay.
And everybody heard it, said, you should release that. That's amazing. It's got a nice dance feel about it, and it's happy. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Yeah, let's put it out there. So like 5 years later, 6 years later, whatever, decided to send it out, and everybody loved it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like, like sometimes you experiment with different songs from different bands just to do something different. But once I got the feedback, I was like, wow, maybe I should put this out. And it's done well, actually. It got to number one in California. I know that much, in the charts, in one of the indie FM charts. So I was really happy about that, yeah. So, no, I didn't write it, but I wanted to do that. I just wanted to show my, versatility. I challenge myself sometimes, because doing a song by Jamiroquai, guys, is not easy.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
That JK, who's British, the lead singer of Jamiroquai, I mean, he's been around forever. He's got one of the most distinct voices, and they're still packing out venues like 20, 30,000 at times, these guys,
Right.
Yeah.
To impersonate JK is extremely hard, so I just wanted to give it a go. Just to challenge myself.
Very nice, man.
Well, it sounded great. I didn't realize that it was a Jamiroquai song, but it kind of sounded familiar, but I didn't know why, kind of thing.
Got that.
And I was like, oh, well, that's why, because it was his. It's his. That's why.
It's my style, but I wanted to keep some elements of Jamiroquai in there, and that's what we did. So again, it was. I think for me, it was just experimenting.
Well, I love it. I love it.
No, thank you. Like, some people, again, didn't realise it was my voice. And they were like, wow, really? That's you? And I go, yeah, that's me. And that's nice in a way, because they're so used to that certain vibe that I've got. Occasionally, I veer away from it to see if I can sort of try different styles, if I can.
Sure.
And the thing is, but I recognize that it was your voice, though, for some reason.
Yeah, some people didn't, because I think it was the style of song. They didn't expect me to do something like that,
Yeah.
So, but it's good. At least I know that I can hit certain ranges.
Yeah. So now you know for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps me move forward, So, thank you. Larry just said, cheers, John. Your music is brilliant. Well, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that.
Hey, Larry. Good one on that.
Yeah, Larry.
Yeah. Well, man, it's been a pleasure having you back on, man.
Oh, yes.
Fun
talking to you. Really enjoy the music.
It's been what, a couple of years?
Yeah, I think so.
At least, yeah.
It's a couple of years, and as you know, I was listening up to a certain point, then sort of things just got busy, but it's been fun, actually. I've missed I've missed you guys, and
we've missed you, believe me.
yeah, no, and I've missed coming on the show, and it was a real, when Gris said, "Do you want to come on the show?" I was like, "Hell no."
Liar.
Joking, I'm joking. It's great stuff. I love coming on here, and it was just ironic. I said to Gris that it was my day off today.
Yeah.
Normally I work every Saturday, and I said, "Oh, guess what? I'm off this week, but I still don't want to come on."
I talked him into it.
Yeah, you twisted my pigeon's arm. But seriously, guys, brilliant. I just, it's been a long time, and I was really happy that you brought me back. And I didn't want to assume ever that, I can come on at any time.
Oh, you can, of course, you know that.
Yeah, I know, but there's so many guests, so many fantastic artists out there that need that exposure. You guys are giving me amazing exposure over the last, must be 4 years? 4 or 5 years? I don't know, maybe longer. And, for that I thank you so much, and I'd like to thank all the fans and my band members, family, friends, and you guys and all the other DJs that we all know that help us so much. But I will say to all the artists out there again, you know what, guys, just don't expect anything, and some dreams will come true if you don't expect too much, right?
Yeah.
And just walk away from being stressed out by it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
but, appreciate it, guys.
Well, we appreciate you, man. And you want to drop any sites or any? Well,
I mean, I've got I spent last week. I don't know if you saw it, but I redesigned my new website. I spent like 2 days on it, and that's just COLDJACK.com, and Facebook again is facebook.com/COLDJACK band. Anybody listening out there that for the first time, I'd love you to become a fan. You can, and the usual music is on iTunes, Amazon, and CD Baby, Spotify, and Pigeon Fire. But yeah.
AKA the Pigeonator.
Yeah. So. No, it's on the usual, usual suspects, as we all do.
Yeah.
Just to all the artists, keep going, enjoy what you do, love what you do, and you'll deserve a break. We all do.
Oh, absolutely.
No one's better than anybody, but when you put a lot of work in, guys, hours and hours, thousands of dollars, it just would be nice to be valued a little bit more and respected. But you know what it's like. Oh, that's the other thing, very quickly. I just noticed that more and more, Gary, I'm sure you'll be aware, and Henry's going to be the same, I'm sure, and YJ is, I'm noticing more and more tribute bands are being booked for festivals than originality.
Yeah, I have noticed that.
Nothing against tribute bands because they're artists, but what that's doing is destroying the originality, it's destroying the indie artists, it's destroying the festivals, because I'm finding that promoters want to play safe.
Yeah.
I've noticed that more and more tribute bands are being booked more than great artists that are writing great stuff.
Yeah.
And I find that a little bit frustrating, because these tribute artists that they're covering, we've been hearing their music for the last 30, 40, 50.
Forever. Yes.
Forever. So do we really, if you don't want to kill the music industry and kill the art of music, we've got to start bringing back original artists, indie artists that are sweat, blood and tears. But if you want to make money at the same time and you're fed up with becoming an indie artist, then become a tribute artist. I mean, it's that, again, I'm not bitter, not angry. It's just something I've noticed. That a lot of tribute bands are being booked for festivals, and there's no room for us, the artists that are writing, performing music. And that really upsets me considerably. When we're putting so much back, Gary,
Yeah, I totally understand, man. It's really, really changed a lot, and it seems like each year things are just getting different, more different. It's just it's just one of those things that where, you know, of course, you know, all of us indie artists, we just have to be more creative in doing things, and then of course, you know, looking ahead of where the industry is, has I mean, it's changed already, but I mean, it's steady changing, and you know, a lot of the different how you say, the platforms for music in different ways is different, and a lot of things are really coming to where I think more people are actually getting more involved with well, let me just stop because just get us on another conversation, because I was looking at the time here, but yeah, John, you're right. It's just one of the deals, but yeah, we definitely just, you know, we just got to hang in there and do our thing and continue.
I mean, I've been asked to do a Simply Red tribute band because there isn't many Simply Red tribute bands, and they don't perform anymore. And we all play covers, don't get me wrong. I mean, every indie artist will pick the odd cover, and we play the odd Simply Red, and because we got heard, hey guys, but what was frustrating, your stuff's really great. We were noticed for playing a cover.
Yeah.
And that was really like, thanks for the compliment, but your material's great, love your originals, but those Simply Red tunes you covered were fantastic. We would like you to join our agency and become a Simply Red tribute. And it's like, no, thank you. Because I'd be losing it. I'd be like, losing everything I've done.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, anyway, that's what it is. I just wanted to get that across to
Sure. Yeah, man. And I just want you to continue doing what you do. And like I said, and I don't know, for some reason or another, I feel like things are gonna change for the better at some point. You know, because I think in life, everything, you know, you're always gonna come to these points, you know, where things are down, and then we'll go through another stage where things on the rebound and things start. You know what I'm saying? So just waiting on that to come back. So it'll be back. It'll be back. So. Just don't give up. Just don't give up.
There's times when I've said to Grizz, you know, where I want to, you know, I've really wanted to, and it's tough to continue when you're striving for just a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you just don't know where to turn or who to talk to, you know, and it's so clicky. It's so clicky.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if you know the right person, guess what? You're in.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, you know, but I'm not just talking about myself. We're talking about all of us, you know.
Oh, yeah.
All the artists that I've met over the last 6-7 years from you guys are just phenomenal. Just fantastic. You know, and I have not seen, have you seen any of us really catapult to that level yet? No. Oh, and that's a tough one. That's, you know, it's tough when I try and follow all the other artists and I watch them carefully and I read carefully and I think we're all producing such good stuff and we're evolving, but none of us seem to have quite got that.
Yeah.
Got to that next level, and that's not because of us, the artists.
No, it's not. It's actually what it is. It's all about money and who you know. Like you said, it's basically what it is. The person who's up there, powerful with the money on top, that has control of all the, you know, that can get into all that stuff. I mean, whoever they decide, that's who's going to be the next big thing or whatever. I mean, that's where it's going to go. That's how it's going to go. Yeah. And unless you not in with that particular clique or connection or what have you, then I mean, that's just how it is. And especially on that big platform like that, because you know, even through the years, it's always been, it hadn't been like that many. I mean, a lot, but not that many. You know what I'm saying? That's just dominating everything.
Well, I just hope I can make enough money to buy some nuts for camping.
Your 2-pound bag of pistachio.
And on that note,
he likes to roast his nuts over the fire.
I think there's a lot of Christmas movies with that title.
Yeah.
Oh dear, we all still got a sense of humour, right?
Oh yeah. Got to.
Yeah, we won't be allowed that one for much longer. Who you got? Can't talk about your nuts on air. No.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that you polish.
Oh. Yeah. Well, man, like I said, it's been a blast.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Come back,
and,
definitely come back.
It's been too long. It's been too long, and
yeah.
I'll tell you what would be nice quickly before we go, and, is once I get to the COLDJACK Cafe and the venue side of things, that would be great for me to come back on, and maybe we could do like a just show you around sort of type thing.
Oh, yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah. And we can then, because the idea is to, as I said, is to bring you guys in. You know, if anybody's in Canada, say, hey, can I perform there tonight? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Absolutely, man. And I got some really cool ideas in mind that, you know, I'll probably try to talk with you at some point, you know, off the side of some ideas for in the future. Just, you know.
Well, we're talking about you, Gal.
Huh? I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
I didn't want to involve you, mate.
Oh, no.
Did you get? You obviously got the wrong end of the stick there, didn't you?
Yeah.
You carry on doing your show. Gary, serious. Gary, yeah, let's talk, Gal.
Yeah,
seriously.
We'll talk.
Now we can talk about whatever ideas. If we can all incorporate it into helping each other next year. Yeah, let's look at that, because that's the idea of it. You've got some ideas, I've got some ideas. I'm sure we all have.
Yeah, everybody, I'm sure.
And those ideas again might open another door, right? So
exactly. Something to.
I'm hoping by the next interview I'll actually get my right boob done. I can't have the left one keep falling out, right? I've got to get the other one to balance it up a bit. Yeah, I'll be wearing a what is it, a 32 double D or something?
Triple E.
Triple E, yeah. Triple E. I think I'll be leaning forward too much, right?
Yeah, just a bit. You might be dragging.
Before we know. What with that, my roasted nuts? I mean, we got no.
We might as well just get you a cart and lay you down.
Or I can bring you a bag of squirrels and let them.
Yeah, bag of squirrels. Yeah.
No, put you on the three-wheeler.
Yeah.
Put you on the big wheel. and your boobs can
There's nothing like a well-hung chipmunk, eh?
Oh man, well John, again, it's been a pleasure, man, and like I said, come back anytime, and we'll be definitely, we'll get together and get you back on here, man. It's always fun to have you on.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, thank you guys, appreciate it. And thank you everybody in the chat room for being there, and all the listeners. I really appreciate you. Love you guys. Okay?
Absolutely. And for those of you, if you tuned in late, if you missed part of the show, there'll definitely be an archive of it later today. So
this one, I'm going to play that back.
Yeah, we'll definitely post it. We'll get it posted out, and
There's going to be a lot of bleeps in it, though.
No.
It's going to be as is.
As is. Yes, that's right. But anyway, I want to say, everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves, and be sure to come back and tune in. Bring somebody with you next week. Not next week. We're not scheduled.
Yes.
Oh,
yes, we do
okay.
have guests next week.
Tell us, Griz.
That is Corinza Gray. We got her back.
Corinza. Wonderful artist. She's very great
amazing vocalist.
Mm-hmm. So that's refreshing to hear. That'd be great to have her on. So we'll look forward to that. Y'all come back and check that out, and look forward to some more, because we do have some other people lined up for December.
22nd. I still have the 15th I'm working on. I'm going to see if I can get somebody there for the 15th. I'm hoping.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, Griz, let you take us out.
All right. Well, Johnny Boy, thank you. Thank you for doing the show. I'm so glad that you had off today from your job. So
me too. And when I go off the air, I'm actually going to get the freewheeler, get a squirrel, put razor.
And go roast some nuts.
Yeah, holding some roasted nuts like this. You can imagine a squirrel with Ray's head on it with a bag and in the provincial camping run. Oh, here comes Squirrel Ray with his nuts.
Oh, that'd be a sight to see.
Going around going, oh Lord.
Or a sight I don't want to see.
Like, no, I don't need that.
Yeah, he goes, woo, nuts, camping nuts, oh Lord. Oh, he's got the other bag in his mouth. Terrible. Oh, what a visit that would be, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Here comes Squirrel Mac with his nuts.
Look at what YJ said in the chat room. Oh no! Oh, the pigeon head is back.
Yeah, how about that?
Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. Chat room, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate your support more than you realize. Thank you. And join us next week for Corinza Gray. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be safe out there, and we will see you next week.
All right, everybody. See you next week.
Ciao.
Cool. Oh, that was funny. How'd you do? Oh, I wish Ray would have been here today.
Even seeing you while I'm dreaming, talking all night on the cell phone.
Oh,
speaking.
Lord.
One of us fall out sleeping. I can see them other cats been scheming, but I promise they don't know the meaning. Her love, they just proceeding for that lust. That's all they seeking. Shorty, I love her how you always down for the cause. Even from all of the fellas, you be getting the pause. Taking trips, hotel rooms, you up against the wall, to the hot tub, to the floor, to the bed, lights off. Forget about the past, then forget about the problems. We'll take care of it all. You always got my back and always hold me down, and that probably be the reason that I'm starting to fall. I can't help it.
I'm trying to take it slow, but my heart keeps spinning out of control.